For the best in talk, entertainment, and great giveaways, you're in the right place. Coming up next from the entertainment capital of the world, The Amie Jo Show. Welcome to the Amie Jo Show. Our show is about infotainment, information you can use and entertainment you can enjoy. Our guest today is going to amaze you. We have a Louis Armstrong tribute artist, but joining us first is our magnificent entertainment expert, Mr. Phil Flowers.
He's back.
Is that a good thing?
It's a good thing. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Well,
Hi,
I know there's
everybody.
some great stuff going on, so we're all abuzz and excited.
Yeah, I was so busy this weekend watching things that I thought that I wanted to talk to you about that everybody else would want to know. And come to find out, I would really like to bring your interest to the Jackson family. Again, of course,
Okay.
they're always in the news. Finds out that the Jackson children, well, Paris especially, is getting older, so she's kind of wanting to bond with her mom, Debbie Rowe.
Sure.
Now, this is the new dirt. Are you ready? There's
Did
a
he
guy.
say dirt?
There's a guy. It's named Mark Lester, which is one of Michael Jackson's old friends. Claims that he is the biological father of Michael's other children, Michael Paris.
Okay, so now that is a famous name because Mark Lester is a well-known child star. He was the young man that was in the movie Oliver.
Yes, he was.
I mean, he was the star
Yes, he
of that
was.
show, and he said he's the father?
Well, all I can do is tell you what I heard and what I read. And what's happening is they're trying to keep it under the rug right now, but what he wants to do is when the children get to a certain age, he wants to ask them if they wouldn't mind taking a DNA test and, to find out. But I think it's a possibility. They don't look like Michael.
So they don't look like Michael?
I don't think so. What do you think? Come on.
Well, now, I did hear that someone donated sperm and that's the way he wanted it, but do they look like Mr. Lester?
We shall see. We shall see, because they don't look like Michael. I know that much. Well, we all know that much, Amy.
Okay, so then what does this mean for the family? If he in fact is the father and comes in, what's going to happen?
Well, I thought they had enough on their plates with all the lawsuits that they're going through with Dr. Conroy, and...
Oh, Dr. Murray.
Dr.
Yes.
Murray, yeah, Conrad
Okay.
Murray, that's
Yes.
his name, yeah. I thought they had enough going on with this, but they might have another handful of situations. I think we'll never get tired of hearing stories about the Jacksons. They're going to surprise us in the future.
Well, yes, I mean, it does seem to be an ongoing saga.
Yeah, well, I wanted to tell you that Michael was my father too, but I've just been holding it in. I'm waiting for the right day.
I don't know what to say about that. Okay, well, we'll leave that one alone too. So, on another note, talking about child stars, Britney Spears was a child star, and I hear she's coming to town. So what scoop do you have on that?
Well, I got some good scoop on that.
Okay.
She's coming to Las Vegas. She's going to start her residency in December at a new home where my new home is, at the Planet Hollywood at Saks Theater.
Okay, but I hear there's controversy in her camp. So have you heard what it is? I heard, a little bird told me.
Well, what did they tell you? Because I know what I know for a fact, just by being an entertainer myself. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. What I heard was she wants to put her children in the show, and evidently her husband and some other people are objecting to that. So as an artist, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It depends. I can't say yes or no on that. It just depends on the level of entertainment they're doing. I make sure it's family friendly and nothing dangerous. Like, Brittany, don't wear one of them as an earring. Don't do anything crazy like that. So, you know, but there's other things about Brittany that people are worried about, because so many times people have been unpleased with the show because she never sang all the way through the show. She was lip syncing, and I have to give credit where credit is due. There's not too many singers out there that can perform and dance at the same time. So props to you for doing it. And she said this time when she gets to Las Vegas that she was going to be singing all of her music.
Wow.
So we shall see.
And let me tell you, I sing, and I know walking around, trying to dance a little bit to make it exciting, you can become very winded doing that. So it's not an easy thing to do, especially when you're going across the stage and you're like doing all of this stuff. That's tough.
Well, it's the new generation that brought those things around,
Yeah,
because you
absolutely.
and I, we know that from the days of the Temptations, the Four Tops, you know, they did a few steps, but they weren't turning flips and they throwing people across the room and flying. So, you know, it's a whole different era of things that are happening these days. They put it on themselves.
Yeah. Well, I know you have to run, but I want to know, what is your suggestion for entertainment coming up?
Entertainment coming up.
The must-see thing.
Well, I think if you've never seen Celine Dion's show, you must see Celine Dion's show. I, as a Black American, went and was wondering what I was going to see. Well, she thrilled me. She absolutely thrilled me. She took me back. The woman is God-gifted. When she opens her mouth, it sounds of angels, but yet you can tell she's doing it from the bottom of her heart. And she didn't, a lot of people say, well, it was just a lot of things flying around. That was her voice.
Wait a minute. I have seen Celine Dion and would love to go back and see her again.
Yes.
But let me tell you what, she is very talented, and it is an event. It's just not a show for Celine. It is really orchestrated so well.
Absolutely.
But I know we've got 30 seconds. I want you to talk about Phil Flowers.
Planet Hollywood,
Thank
October
you.
12th, opening date. Please come out and support my Luther Vandross tribute. Please. I love you, Las Vegas, and I'll see you next week also.
Thank you so much, Phil.
Thank you, Anne.
Stay in your chair. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We're not like any other jewelry store in Las Vegas. From our living room setting, we offer personalized styling and wardrobe building at a price that you can afford. Style is your own personal fashion sense based on your mood and how you feel. Just bring that little special outfit and we will add that finishing touch. Whether you're a country club girl, or maybe you're a fantasy floral, or maybe you're boho chic, or maybe you're a goddess, or maybe you're that personal bling. A Little Bling by Dale has the accessories that'll make you stand out from the crowd. Remember, it's not what you wear, but it's how you wear it.
Good morning, this is Don Hamrick with Chapman Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Las Vegas' original Dodge dealer. Many of you might recognize Victor Valenzuela. Victor is the El Jefe to the Hispanic community. Our TV show El Jefe de Cementos has been running for 12 years with fabulous deals for all the community. Stop in and see Victor on El Jefe de Cementos show and mention the Amie Jo show and receive a special gift. We'd love to see you here down at Chapman.
El Jefe dice, Menos!
Welcome back. You're watching the Amie Jo Show from fabulous Las Vegas, and my next guest is a talented young man, and he is on a mission. He is an artist who wants to put Louis Armstrong back in everyone's mouth and in their eyes. Wow. What a mission.
Yes, it really is. I don't know what I'm supposed to say, because I'm sitting here with a beautiful Amie Jo, and you know I love the women, because I've been married 4 times. Yes.
Yes to that question.
Yes to that question. Yes, Louis Armstrong needs to come back on a world scale.
Yes.
He's a fabulous artist. He was the father of jazz music here in this country, and he was born during a time that spanned 1901 to 1971, as I would say, horse and buggy to when man walked on the moon.
Wow.
That's a lot of history.
That's a lot of history. And so, Mr. Anthony Brady, how did you just put your focus on him? What happened?
I don't know. It might have been God sent. I was doing a children's show, and they needed someone to sing Wonderful World. And it just came out of me. And it just amazed me. And what amazed me more than anything was that I was doing that show for preschoolers in Chicago. And they knew every word of the song.
Really?
They sang it along with me word for word. It was amazing.
That's
These are
nice.
4 and 5. Some of them are just turning sixth graders. 350 of them out there.
And they just all chimed in.
Yeah.
Which shows you how powerful the music and how it transcended over the generations.
Yeah.
Amazing. So where does your vocal talent come from?
Church.
From church? Okay.
That's
A
about it.
lot of artists started in church. And how old were you when you started?
I've been singing since I was 2 years old.
Okay.
But I had no idea that the Louis Armstrong vocal was inside of me until maybe I was 11, 12. I used to just play with it.
Okay.
Because I loved those artists back then, the black and white movies, the whole concept. I thought that
Yes.
was just beautiful.
Well, I want to say something to our perhaps younger viewers that Louis Armstrong was an artist and he was a trumpeter. He was a vocalist. Most people would call him a balladeer. And he was in a lot of movies. He was a star. He was a comedian. And he really was considered to be one of the most influential artists in jazz history. And he's known most for his songs like the Star Duet and what you just said, What a Wonderful World. I can go to so many places and artist after artist always sing that song, generally at the close. And so is that something that you like to do as well?
Well, I would like to intermingle that song in the middle of our musical piece. I have a 6-piece band here in Las Vegas. And along with other songs that are prominent, Hello Dolly, Lazy River, a few songs that he sang from Hank Williams' Your Cheating Heart.
Oh, okay.
Sinatra music, a lot of living to do. Louis Armstrong sang so many different songwriter songs that I think that a great show would be just beneficial, and Wonderful World should be in the middle of that.
Right in the middle of that. Well, guess what? I'm going to show everyone a little vintage Louis Armstrong just so they can see what a great artist he was. Take a look.
Come on, folks, everybody sing. Now when the saints go marching in, now when the saints go marching in, yes, I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in, sing it again. Now when the saints marching in, now when the saints go marching in.
Oh, wow. I'm bowled over. And what I like about that music is it was perfect. It was good for the time that he sang it. And you look at it now and it's still good. It's not like, oh, that's out of date. So how do people achieve that? Music that transcends.
You mean, how do they express it, sing it?
No, how do they create music? Because you're also a writer, correct?
I'm a screenwriter.
Oh,
more than
screenwriter. Okay, okay.
anything. Screenwriter. But I heard that you have a great voice and that you can sing. And we'd probably like for you to come up on the stage and do a little Ella Fitzgerald for us.
Oh, yes, I would love to do that one day
have
soon.
a
And
beautiful look.
if you tell me the words, we'll sing some Hello Dolly before you get out of here. How about that?
That sounds good to me.
Okay. Well, one thing I do like about Louis Armstrong, and I think his life as a whole is really textbook for people today because he overcame so many things.
Yes, he did.
He really had a very difficult life where his father abandoned the family at a young age. His mother got involved in prostitution. And I read that he was also arrested at a young age really because they were celebrating New Year's and he shot a gun and they put him in jail. And I was just amazed at the things that he went through and still came out not holding grudges and not, you know, people could become very bitter about that kind of a life.
No, it was his lifestyle where he lived. There was a ethical mix, or ethnical salad, a big gumbo of different ethnicities. And also a big Jewish family helped him out during those years. He married a prostitute, by the way.
Yes, and
His
they
first
had a
wife.
very turbulent marriage. And the other thing that amazes me is that he had such a big heart.
Yeah.
Because his cousin that was hurt from a fall, that he took care of him all of his life.
You really did your research.
Well,
yes.
you know, I really do like to do that because I want people to know that life is not linear. There are ups and there are downs, and we've got to go with those ups and downs. And he's a very, very good example of that.
That's why I wrote the story. I wanted people to hear it through the narrated voice of Louis Armstrong, and it's basically his life and the history that was surrounding him. You know, we had segregation on a large scale back then.
Yeah. Well, it's like I tell people all the time, it's not where you start, it's where you're going. And oftentimes people say, well, my mother didn't do this, my father didn't do that, oh, I lived in the projects. Stop right there. It's not about that. It's what are you going to do? And Louis Armstrong showed us what he could do. We're going to take a break. Can you give us your website so people can look you up, and we're going to come back and hear some of your great vocals?
Yes, I'd love to. It's called Satchmo is Coming, lww.homestead.com. Satchmo is Coming, lww.homestead.com. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, young man. We're going to a break, and when we come back, we're going to hear some more from Mr. Brady and his tribute to Louis Armstrong. We'll be right back.
Good morning. This is Don Hamrick with Chapman Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Las Vegas' original Dodge dealer. Many of you might recognize Victor Valenzuela. Victor is the El Jefe to the Hispanic community. Our TV show, El Jefe de Cementos, has been running for 12 years with fabulous deals for all the community. Stop in and see Victor on El Jefe de Cementos show and mention the Amie Jo show and receive a special gift. We'd love to see you here down at Chapman.
El Jefe dice, menos.
We're not like any other jewelry store in Las Vegas. From our living room setting, we offer personalized styling and wardrobe building at a price that you can afford. Style is your own personal fashion sense based on your mood and how you feel. Just bring that little special outfit and we will add that finishing touch. Whether you're a country club girl or maybe you're a fantasy floral, or maybe you're boho chic, or maybe you're a goddess, or maybe you're that personal bling. A Little Bling by Dale has the accessories that'll make you stand out from the crowd. Remember, it's not what you wear, but it's how you wear it.
Welcome back. You're watching the Amie Jo Show in fabulous Las Vegas, and my guest is Anthony Brady, a tribute artist for Louis Armstrong. Well, I have been enjoying this very much, talking about Mr. Armstrong, and let's talk a little bit about you and what you're trying to do to make this whole thing happen for him. You're starting a tribute, like a play, a musical?
Well, right now, I'm sorry, I'm sounding like Louis Armstrong. Right now, we're working on, we're talking to people at the Goodman Theater in Chicago. We're talking to the NACA convention for the colleges, because Louis Armstrong has history as well as music, and they should be aware of the value of what he's doing. We do have a musical performance of about 23 songs that we're trying to sell right here in Las Vegas. We're talking to people at the Riviera Convention Center about getting rooms for Martin Luther King Day, Black History Month, and so on. It gives us enough time to market
Yes.
and advertise properly. And I personally would like to take Louis Armstrong all over the world, because he was working for the State Department for many years, and he almost put the Cold War on a freeze basis, because he came to those countries and make those people feel good.
Wow.
He was a big, big plus for the Eisenhower administration back during the time of the Cold War.
Okay. Okay. Well, I would like to show everyone just a little bit of what you look like as you are giving a tribute to Mr. Armstrong. So, viewers, take a look at this.
Clouds of white, the bright blessed days, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, sing it with me, come on. What a wonderful world. Well, the colors of the rainbows, so pretty in the skies, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? That's right. They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Come on. Oh yeah, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
So, Anthony, I have to say, that's pretty darn good. How many years have you been doing this?
I've been doing Louis Armstrong like 15, 20 years almost.
Wow.
Pretty good.
And so how did you get the voice? I mean, I think that's the key thing.
I was thinking about Hattie McDaniels when I started thinking about doing Louis Armstrong, but
Really?
yeah, 'cause she had that gravel in her voice. She said, "Okay, sunshine, don't you touch that." But it just seems like to me that it's so natural, and sometimes it scares me.
It scares you. So, okay, last question. Did someone ask you to try to do that, or you just said, I'm going to do that myself?
I had been doing it since I was a child, so I said, "Okay, I'll do it for you. Go ahead."
Oh, my goodness. And how has it been received?
Magnanimous, no problem.
Yeah.
People love Louis Armstrong in general.
Yeah.
They just do. He was a voice and a look that everyone appreciated. The smile, the entertainment. That man was tops. He was number 10 as far as entertainment is concerned, and 6 decades of the purity that is him. It's beautiful.
And you mentioned that he really was a part of history and that his life really coincided with history. Can you expound on that a little bit more?
Well, during the time of Louis Armstrong, there were no street lights. That came up. There were cars came along, 1903 Ford Motor Company. There were no billionaires to the birth. He came into birth 1901. We were the richest country in the world. Beaumont oil explosion, 1903. Walt Disney, born 1903 in Chicago. Jack Johnson, 4 major wars. This is the life and times of Louis Armstrong. You know, civil rights. He told the President of the United States he's not doing anything for the State Department unless he straightened out that mess down in Arkansas in 1957.
Really?
He called him a two-faced coward.
Oh, that's pretty gutsy.
Yeah, that was pretty gutsy, big time. And he never talked against segregation until that moment. But also, one of the most major things I can say about Louis Armstrong was his music crossed people over the rope.
Yes.
In case you guys don't know what that means, there was a rope that stopped whites and blacks from standing next to each other. Louis Armstrong put them together, and this was before civil rights was known. So this is the 30s and the 40s.
Right.
They loved his music so much they didn't care who they stood next to.
And you know what? So I often wonder why so many artists sing that song.
Because first, the song is in space. They put a time capsule in space with that song in it, particularly.
Yes, but when you think about his life, how could he find that within himself to say what a wonderful world it was when most of it was very tragic at the very beginning?
Because all he cared about was the good in life.
Yeah, good lesson.
That's all he ever cared about. His upbringing in New Orleans, he was black, it was segregation. He was not treated that way.
Yeah.
He loved the people of New Orleans. He loved people. He hated their ugliness, but he did not show it. He loved this country. This country meant everything to Louis Armstrong. He could have stayed over in France back in 1936, but he came back over here.
Wow. Well, you know what? We've only got a few seconds left, and I did say we would try a little Hello Dolly, so if you started out, I'll try to chime in. I don't remember all the words, but I'll try to ad-lib.
I'll try my best.
Hello, darling, this is Louis, yes, darling. I'm mighty glad to have you back in town. You looking swell, darling. I can tell, oh, darling, she's glowing, she growing, oh, Amie Jo is going strong. I feel this room swaying while the band is playing. Where are they? Those old-time favorite songs from way back when. So,
Take a rap, fella.
find her an empty lap, fellas. Amen. You never go away again.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We really do appreciate you being here. And thank you so much. I wish you the best. Please give your website out one more time. I want everyone to be able to find you. You never know who's watching the show, and I'm hoping someone will call you up and help you move up further on your plan.
Well, thank you very much. And that website is, once again, SatchMoIsComing, LWW.homestead.com. And thank you very much, Miss Amie Jo, because it's a wonderful.
There you go. We'll keep the music going low, and I'm going to close us out here. I want to thank our entertainment expert for being here today, and also Mr. Brady. And please tune in again next week, because you never know who's going to be on the show. I would like to let you know, as I say every week, success is a choice. Change your mind, change your life.